How do you stop counting calories? That's a question I get asked a lot. It's one of those habits that develops when you develop an eating disorder, and it's one of those habits that takes a long time to get rid of, even after you've overcome the eating disorder. It's not the worst habit to have, but it's something that you need to get rid of eventually. That's the topic of today's video. Before we proceed, don't forget to subscribe and check out some of my free resources below. Okay, let's get to it. Counting calories is one of those habits that tends to develop when you initially become interested in food or you become weight conscious. I first started doing it when I was about 20 years old. Before then, I never paid attention. I didn't care about nutrition. I didn't pay attention to nutrition facts. I didn't track anything. I didn't weigh anything. I just ate. In some ways, that was healthier because I wasn't obsessed about it. But in some ways, other ways, it wasn't healthy because I was really ignorant of what I was eating. You need to strike a balance. I find that most, if not all, disordered eaters count calories or track calories in some way. And the reason why is because they want to control it. They want to be able to know what they're eating. It's like when you take a test, you want to know what your test score was immediately. You hate not knowing. So this is how that habit arises, when you want to know that number, when you seek to have control. And that's really what an ED is. It is a desire to have control over something in your life. The problem is it only provides an illusion of control. You don't know exactly what you're ingesting. We don't have microsensors in our gut to tell us how many calories we've absorbed and how many we've expended. Wouldn't that be nice? In some ways it would be. In other ways it wouldn't be, because I think it would only feed this obsession. Unless you have really specific goals, you don't need to know all your macros and all your calories. You're wasting your time. And whatever number you have in your head is probably wrong. Even the labels on nutrition facts and menus, a lot of those are off. Big time. Like 10, 20, sometimes 30%. And what happens when the chef at the restaurant is a little liberal with the oil that day? All that number you see on the menu is what they calculated in the lab on one day. It doesn't tell you how much you're actually ingesting. All you can do is guess. And my advice for you is to not guess at all. The number of calories you think you're eating doesn't matter. What matters is your habits, your behavior, your goals, and your fitness. That's what really matters. Counting calories is a waste of mental effort. You're wasting your time. You shouldn't be thinking about it too much. You should be thinking about other things. There are other goals in your life that you should be focused on. There are other people, events, topics that you should be thinking about. So really ask yourself, why are you doing this? Why are you counting? Why are you tracking? I bet the answer is control. Because here's the truth. If you stop tracking, if you stop counting, you probably wouldn't gain weight. You might not lose weight, but you probably wouldn't gain it. I'm saying it has little to no effect on your long-term outcomes. That doesn't mean that you should throw caution to the wind and pretend that cashew chicken at Cheesecake Factory only has 100 calories. That's not what I'm saying. It's more like 100 calories per bite. What I'm saying is you should have an intuitive sense of how dense food is. This is where knowledge of nutrition comes in. So you need to know the law of caloric density. Fruits and vegetables are at the bottom. Stuff like butter, peanut butter, oils are at the top because they're the densest. That's all you need to know. You need to know what density is. You need to know that processed food and foods with a lot of oil and a lot of sugar tend to have a lot of calories, and they're really easy to overeat. So you should eat them accordingly. On the other hand, fruits and vegetables are very low in calories, so you can eat those in abundance. What you need is principles. You don't need to know the exact number. I saw somebody on a Facebook forum the other day, and they knew exactly how many calories they ate. They said something like, I ate 1,794 calories yesterday. Okay, that's really exact. That's 4 significant digits. My guess is they don't need to know exactly how many calories they're eating. And they don't know. They're only guessing. They only have that illusion of control. This channel would not be possible without Essetino artists. If you want to start producing content and start your own YouTube channel, check out the Creative Business Academy. There is a link below. So the first step to breaking this habit is start ignoring calorie counts on menus, on labels. Stop scanning nutrition labels all the time. I used to do that a lot. I used to scan everything and look at the macros and the sodium and the vitamin this and vitamin that. It didn't matter. It was a waste of time. If something meets my parameters, if something looks good and I want to try it, I'm just going to eat it. Because I know that one bite is not going to kill me. And I know that one food isn't going to kill me. It's my daily habits that will kill me. or make me really healthy. And please do not spend time calculating macros. I've made a video before about best macros for ED recovery, which you can find above. My point is, and I'll summarize that video, it doesn't really matter what your macros are for recovery. It doesn't really matter what your macros are for weight loss. Except in certain cases, it doesn't matter. If you're a layperson and you just want to be a little fitter, look a little better, lose some weight, you don't need to calculate macros or calories. You're wasting your time. The next step for you is to discount the mental calculation. All disorder eaters do this. They keep a running calculator up in their head, calculating that daily total. Okay, now I'm at 1200, now I'm at 14, now I'm at 50. Stop. Okay. Stopping that is hard. What you can do is stop taking it seriously, because whatever number you have in your head is a gross estimate at best. There have been days where I thought I was eating a lot of calories and I lost weight. And this opposite happened too, where I ate very little according to my calculations and I lost nothing or I gained. It didn't matter. You know what mattered? Here's what mattered. Binge eating and overeating. If you are binge eating and overeating, you will most certainly gain weight. When you remove those behaviors, you will most certainly lose weight. It is really that simple. You don't need to be super precise and super exact. And if you're not losing weight and you feel like you can lose weight, assess your diet. Look for the oils, look for the processed foods, look for the liquid calories, look for the hidden calories, and remove those. Start focusing on the food that you don't need to eat. Think about it. How much food are you eating each day because you have nothing better to do, because you have this habit, because it's that time of the day again, because you're distracted, because you're not paying attention? There are so many calories that you're eating that you probably don't need to be eating. Focus on eating for hunger and for performance, and less for distraction and pleasure and instant gratification. This is what I call the mindless gap. All those calories that you're eating that you don't even know you're eating. If you eliminate those, you're gonna see a difference. And you don't need the count, because now you're only eating based off of hunger and off of physical needs. You might not want to hear this, but don't eat for entertainment and try to limit the pleasure eating. I'm not saying you should never eat for pleasure. I think that's a human experience. Sharing a meal with people, great. 90% of the time you need to be eating because it's giving you the energy or the calories that you need to perform and to show up in life. So I'll summarize healthy eating for you in a few sentences. Eat when you're hungry, stop when you're not, and eliminate or minimize the highly processed foods, which are really rewarding and stimulate you to eat more. Regarding the weight, let the chips fall where they may. If you eliminate the distracted eating, the hedonic eating, and the mindless eating, you'll be fine. Regarding weight loss, eliminate the binge eating for sure, the overeating, the distracted eating, and the hedonic eating. If you eliminate those, you don't need the count, and you're probably going to lose weight anyway. In an upcoming video, I'll explain to you what you should count instead of counting calories. Stay tuned for that one. Are you counting calories on a calculator, on a notebook, on a spreadsheet, or in your head? Let me know in the comments below. So let's summarize. What do we do about counting calories? It's one of those habits that you started and now it's hard to get rid of. Even if you're past your ED, even if you're eating normally, it's just one of those habits that's really hard to get rid of because it provides that comfort, that security, and that control. Start by ignoring the nutrition labels and the menus. Do not look at nutrition facts before you go to a restaurant. Start ignoring that mental calculation you have in your head. It's probably not real. It's probably false because you can only estimate at best. And finally, eliminate the binge eating. If you're binge eating or overeating or you're eating at night, that is the obvious first step. Eliminate that and you're on the right path. Hope you found this video educational and entertaining. Don't forget to check out my free resources below and to subscribe. And if you want to speak with me, there is a link below. If you like this video, I'm sure you'll like one of the other videos that you see on the screen. Click one of them and I'll see you there.